Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we continue the artist series right here at BusyWorksBeats.com/FL Studio. Disclaimer, you will get the project files, so don't sweat it. And we're going to make something in the style of 808 Mafia, Southside, and the whole movement. We already know what they've created. Basically, they own trap. Okay, so we're going to make a trap track. I just got S1's new pack called Sounds and Loops I made for Yeezus. And I came across some loops in here, and I'm sitting here like, this would be perfect for a trap track. Just the crazy textures he has in there. So shout out to S1 with his new pack called Sounds and Loops I Made for Yeezus. So I'm going to grab this one because this one caught my ear. And I'll just show you how to quickly just grab loops and work. So let's switch the BPM up to like 160. I don't know if this, let's count the music real quick. So I'm going to count the music. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, and okay. So sometimes you get loops and they're not perfectly time stretched. Perfectly cut to the bar. Sometimes they are. So this one's cut to the bar. So we're just going to go to the mode, go to stretch mode, turn the time up to 8 bars. That should be right one. I like that slowed down. I did that by accident, but it sounds super dope. So so we basically time stretched it to be a little slower. You could put it to 4 bars. I like it at 8 bars right now. It just has a really unique texture. This is what I want to bring back to trap and hip hop, is that like edge. So let's get our 808s rocking. Again, you'll get the project files for free, so don't try to memorize everything I'm doing right now. Because I stay with it, So I like to do the 808 first, ironically 808 Mafia. So I'm just going to do the 808 rhythm first because I like it to switch up. I don't like it to be the same thing all the way through. So I'm just going to go metronome, melody, 808. And I'm just playing my QWERTY keyboard, my typing keyboard. To do that, go to options, typing keyboard to piano. And I'm just playing the comma, which is like middle C. Oh, you know what? I think I have a delay on, so I have to turn this down a little bit. All right, this will, I like it at 128. Finger couldn't get there close enough. Okay. So now when I hit the key, it actually does it in real time. Okay. So I did that long 808 just to get the core rhythm going. So let's hit Alt Q to quantize. So I rarely start with the 808, but in this style of music, I want to start with the 808 because it's not always a musical tone. We're going to pull it up an octave, control up. Get the key. So it's somewhere between E and D sharp. And we're going to go to pitch 1, pull it down until it matches the sample. One of these hits is a little early. Or maybe not. Let's go to the wrench tool, turn up time shift so it matches the timing of the sample. Okay, so now let's hit control down to pull it back down. Now here's what I'll do. I know I'm moving a little quickly, but I'm trying to not lose an idea. Let's make it unique. Double click, go inside, hit control up so that one 808 is up an octave and the next one will be down an octave. That creates a nice energy. Now I'm going to run this 808 through a new preamp from Arteria. Shout out to Arteria. They hooked me up with a bunch of stuff. I want to try this preamp so I can understand the tone of it. Now I hear it. Just adds a tiny edge. Find our snares. Now for the 808 style, I've noticed they go for more snare stuff. So I'm going to pull from our snares more so than our claps. Gotta have the bounce snare. So I'm trying to match that distorted tone with that preamp. I didn't push it too hard though. And that's when the beat drops, is when the 808 goes into a lower octave. So let's go for like a gritty Future Drake type vibe. I done been ever since. Okay, so I like to rap as I'm going. I done been a man ever since. So boom. So I need tap boom. Pull this down a little bit so it's not taking over. So one thing people don't do is trim their 808s. They just kind of leave it like boom, and it eats up so much space. So sometimes you got to fade it out, depending on the BPM. You want to leave some like space in between so you could hear the bounciness of the 808. So let's find a kick. We need that against the clock series to come back. Let's get the timing right on these elements. Use that time shift just a little bit. You see how much low end that preamp took out? Because I pushed it too hard. So you got to be careful with pre's. If anything, let's send it to a parallel 808. Parallel. And let's distort it over here. And that way we could save the original boominess of the 808, but still drive it like crazy through that preamp. That way we get both tones. Let's turn that off. Okay, so now let's do this. Turn the output down. So I'm just driving this 808. Purposely pushing the volume. Now I'm going to add like a flanger or something to blur it out a little bit. This is all Arturia stuff. Now we have a unique tone. I want something to widen it out, like chorusy. And again, this is not going to be super evident. You're going to tuck it below. So it's not very evident. It's just kind of like an effect. You can barely tell it's there if I didn't tell you it was there. Okay, just to give it a different, I like this melody. I don't really want to do anything to it. It's like there's nothing to add to it. It's already fire. But now you can see the 808 isn't just mono, it's a little widened. Now I'm going to add my favorite plugin to the 808 just to bump it up a little bit. It's called Thermionic Culture Vulture. You can add any saturator plugin that you like. This is my favorite. And again, the 808 is going to be the main event. I mean, the melody kind of has it all. Like, what else do we need in here? I'm trying to see. Let's go back to the S1 pack. 808 might be a little loud. This has a lot of stuff in it. You can layer that in. That's dope. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, it's dirty. Oh, I'm adding that in. That's crazy. So I'm going to tuck this in so it doesn't like override our snare that we already have. It's just going to be a snare I bring in over time. And let's add this over here somewhere. I mean, the beat's really done. We don't need to overkill the beat. Now that we have the saturator on, the 808 is a little more prominent. So really you could just let that ride because that saturator pulls out those highs a lot more, those mids a lot more. Photos, weapons we use, visuals, code, cool. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff in here. We really don't have to do anything. Maybe a little reverb. That's really it. There's nothing else to really do to it. Turn this down a little bit. Yeah, reverb opens it up a little bit. Track's done. I mean, from here you just arrange it, add little stutters and dropouts, I mean, like mutes. It's like, what else do you really have to do to it? And most people would add 1,000 melodies over top and ruin it. Sometimes you just gotta appreciate a good sound source. This is hard. I'm just let it ride for 2 more loops. And oh, you know what? I said I was gonna give you these project files, but I used S1's stuff, so I can't give you the project files, unfortunately, because this is his loop pack. What was I thinking? So my apologies on that. What I can give you, I'll give you the drums. I just can't give you the loop because that's his loop. satisfied with that. Sometimes you just gotta have the right bounce. Shout out to Southside and everybody else in 808 Mafia, Palace and them. And yeah, you're gonna get the project files except for the melody loop. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Thanks for rocking with me. Let's continue this artist series. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com.